It is 3 o'clock in the morning. The Pacific Ocean stretches endlessly in every direction. A young sailor stands on the deck of a United States aircraft carrier. He is guiding a $70 million fighter jet using only hand signals. One wrong move means the pilot dies. This sailor barely finished high school, yet he controls a machine worth more than he will earn in his entire lifetime. And this happens every single night. But here is something most Americans do not know. The United States Navy operates 11 aircraft carriers. That number is written into federal law. Not 10, not 12, exactly 11. But here is the part that should concern you. Right now, only 5 of those 11 carriers can actually deploy. Only 5 are ready to fight. The other 6? They are either broken apart in shipyards, or their crews are not ready, or they just returned from deployment and need months to recover. So why does this happen? Where are the other 6 carriers? And what happens if that number drops to 4? Here is the secret the Navy does not say out loud. Okay, so before we really get started on this, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our defense breakdowns. An aircraft carrier is not like a car you can just start up and drive. It is a living system that gets tired. It needs rest, training, and repairs. That cycle never stops. The Navy follows what they call the rule of thirds. Listen closely because this is critical. Roughly 1/3 of the fleet is deployed right now, working in danger zones. Another 1/3 is preparing for deployment, which means training. The final 1/3 is undergoing maintenance, sometimes for years. So let me do the mathematics. 11 carriers divided by 3. That gives you about 3 to 4 deployed, 3 to 4 training, and 3 to 4 are completely torn apart in maintenance. The deployed carriers and the training carriers, those are your 5 that can actually respond to a crisis. The ones in deep maintenance, they might as well not exist. They are floating construction sites with no crew, no aircraft, and no ability to fight. 5 deployable carriers are the bare minimum. Drop to 4, and the entire system breaks down. This is not just theory. The Navy tried operating with fewer available carriers, and it nearly broke the fleet. In December 2012, the Navy retired the USS Enterprise. The problem was simple. The replacement was not ready yet. For 5 years, America had 10 carriers total, not 11. That meant only 4 to 5 were available at any given time. Leaders said they could make it work. They were wrong. Here is what breaks. With 11 carriers, a deployment lasts 7 months. With 10 carriers, the ship cannot come home on time. So 7 months becomes 9 months, then 10 months. Families felt the pain first. Sailors called home with bad news about extended deployments. Children grew older without seeing their parents. Nuclear reactor crews resigned. Fighter pilots left for the airlines. And the ships suffered. Extended deployments meant delayed maintenance. When ships finally returned, they needed longer repair periods. This created a backlog that took years to fix. In 2021, the USS Nimitz completed a 340-day deployment, around 11 months, which included COVID-19 quarantine, the longest since the Vietnam War. The crew was exhausted. The ship needed extensive repairs. That is the cost of losing just one available carrier. Now let me tell you what life is actually like inside an aircraft carrier. You sleep in what they call a rack, a bunk stacked 3 high, 72 inches long and 26 inches wide. You have 20 inches of space above your face. That is all. You share 4 showers with 100 people. You sleep beside 60 to 100 sailors in one berthing compartment. There are no weekends, no holidays. The work never stops. Your living space is smaller than a closet. You work 12 to 18 hours a day. Fighter jets launch every few minutes right above your head. This goes on for 7 months. Now think about what happens when 7 months become 10 months. The flight deck is pitch black at 3 in the morning. Young sailors guide $70 million jets with hand signals. One wrong signal means disaster. This happens every night. And still, they cook 17,000 meals every single day. They keep the ship alive. But when people are pushed too hard for too long, mistakes happen. So, where are the other 6 carriers right now? Right now, 4 aircraft carriers are stuck in shipyards. They are torn apart for what is called RCOH, refueling and complex overhaul. It is open heart surgery on a giant ship. Each carrier has 2 nuclear reactors. They run for over 20 years without refueling. But at the 25-year mark, the fuel runs out. The ship goes into dry dock. Workers cut through the steel hull. Yes, they slice through the ship to access the reactor compartments deep inside. They remove spent nuclear fuel and install new fuel. They replace radars, computers, and miles of cables. They resurface the entire flight deck. This takes 4 full years. Right now, the USS John C. Stennis is undergoing this process in Virginia. A ship worth over $10 billion is sitting in a shipyard completely unavailable. It went in for RCOH in 2021. It will not be ready until 2026. You cannot go faster. One mistake with nuclear materials means a serious accident. So, at any given time, at least one carrier is always down for this 4-year overhaul. That is one of your 6 unavailable carriers. Then you have carriers that just returned from deployment. They need months of maintenance. The crew needs time off. That is another 1 or 2 unavailable carriers. And finally, you have carriers preparing for deployment. The crew is training. Systems are being tested. These ships are getting ready, but they are not ready yet. That is another 1 or 2 unavailable carriers. Add it all up, 4 in deep maintenance, 1 or 2 are recovering, 1 or 2 preparing. That is your 6 unavailable carriers, which leaves you with 5 that can actually respond. So why not build more carriers? Why not have 15 so that 10 are always available? The answer is industry and money. During the Cold War, America had multiple shipyards building carriers. Today, that number is 1, just 1 shipyard. Huntington Ingalls Industries in Newport News, Virginia. This is the only place in America that can build nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. There is no backup. If a major disaster hits that shipyard, America's ability to build carriers stops. That shipyard is already working at full capacity. Building one carrier takes 7 to 10 years. A new carrier ordered today would not arrive until the early 2030s. By then, the oldest carriers must retire. The USS Nimitz itself is preparing for decommissioning in 2026. So we are not growing the fleet. We are barely replacing ships. Here is the financial reality. A single Ford-class carrier costs $13 billion. But that is just the ship. You still need aircraft and crews. Each F-35C costs around $100 million. An FA-18 Super Hornet costs around $70 million. A full air wing costs billions. Then comes the strike group: destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and supply ships. One full carrier strike group represents around $50 billion over its lifetime. Defense budgets have limits. Congress sets the requirement at 11 carriers because that is what the budget can sustain. So 11 total carriers, with 5 available at any time, is both the legal minimum and the practical maximum. The number 11 is written into law for a real war plan. The Navy calls it the two-war standard. The plan says the United States must fight one major war while simultaneously responding to another crisis somewhere else. Imagine this scenario. China takes military action against Taiwan. The United States sends 3 carriers. At the same time, Iran threatens to block the Strait of Hormuz. That threatens 20% of the world's oil supply. The United States sends 2 carriers there. You just used all 5 available carriers. There is nothing left for Europe, Africa, South America, or anywhere else. And if one carrier has a mechanical problem, you are down to 4. With only 4 available carriers, you cannot cover both crises. You must choose. And that is a choice no president wants to make. Let me show you what happens when countries do not have enough carriers. France has 1 aircraft carrier, Charles de Gaulle. Every 7 to 8 years, that ship needs a major overhaul. The work lasts 18 months. During that time, France had 0 carriers. They have no backup. The United Kingdom has 2 carriers. In 2022, HMS Prince of Wales broke down. HMS Queen Elizabeth was in maintenance, so the UK had limited capability. If you have 2 cars and one breaks down while the other is in the shop, you are stuck at home. America cannot afford this. When Allied carriers are unavailable, they rely on the US Navy. But when America runs out of available carriers, there is nobody to call. Here is something most people never think about. Aircraft carriers are not just war machines, they are protectors of global trade. Right now, those 5 available carriers watch oil routes and cargo shipping lanes. They keep ships moving safely. 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. 30% of global trade moves through Asian waters. If those lanes close, gas prices jump immediately. Food prices rise. Consumer goods stop arriving. Carriers do not start wars. They prevent wars by showing up. Potential adversaries think twice when a carrier strike group is nearby. But threats are growing every year. China now operates 3 aircraft carriers of its own. These countries watch for gaps in American coverage, and with only 5 carriers available, those gaps are real. So what happens if one of those 5 available carriers has a problem? In February 2025, the USS Harry S. Truman collided with a cargo ship in the Mediterranean Sea. The carrier had to stop in Greece for emergency repairs. For 2 weeks, that carrier was unavailable. The Navy had to adjust deployments. Other carriers had to extend their time at sea. Or consider this. In April 2025, the USS Harry S. Truman lost an FA-18 Super Hornet. The aircraft rolled off the hangar deck during evasive maneuvers. The plane and nearly a crew member went into the ocean. That $60 million aircraft was gone. The investigation found insufficient communication. The aircraft was not properly secured. These accidents happen when crews are stretched thin. This is what operating at the minimum looks like. 5 available carriers mean no room for error, no margin for accidents, no backup plan. Let me put everything together. The U.S. Navy has 11 aircraft carriers in total. If the fleet grows to 12 total carriers, you would have 6 available. But reality stops it. We cannot build them faster. We cannot support them financially. That is why 5 available carriers exist. The number comes from reality. It comes from mathematics, people, and industrial limits. That is the truth. You now know why only 5 of the Navy's 11 carriers can deploy right now. You saw where the other 6 are. You saw the human cost. You saw the limits. And none of it is flexible. If this helped you understand the sacrifice our sailors make every single day, hit that like button. Subscribe for clear defense breakdowns. Share this with someone who wants to understand how American naval power really works. One last thought. The world is getting more dangerous. Threats are growing faster than we can build ships. Maintaining 5 available carriers is getting harder every year. And if we drop to 4 available carriers, the system breaks. That is the risk we all live with.